Not that many days ago, this was the local scene here in southern Maine. And now we are here. Both are fantastic, but do you feel the shift in your core with a transition from summer to fall? For some of us, that can mean a shift from being more active to more reflective. Of course, we can still go on excursions, but it is also time to pull the gardens, cut back the perennials, and tidy up the yard for winter, because sometimes ice and snow sneak up on us early here. So we have to begin preparing as we feel the nights begin to get colder. Here in Maine and in much of New England, we follow the cycle of the trees. The trees have many lessons for us when we open our awareness to them. There's the obvious carbon dioxide-oxygen exchange, of course. There's their physical beings, which provide so much to the animals, to us, to the environment. And there's that symbiotic network occurring underground between roots and the fungi. And there's so many other things we benefit from these trees. But for this purpose, I'm more talking about their routine as autumn arrives. As the days become shorter and the light becomes less, the trees slow their energy, allowing for these leaves to fall as they are now and as we all know. And then the trees go into their hibernation period until spring, when the energy begins flowing again and they begin that cycle all over again. So although we could take this analogy and look at it or apply it to our entire life cycle, we're really going to narrow this in and focus just on the seasonal cycle itself. Last weekend, I offered to drive my youngest an hour away at 6:30 a.m. to take his SATs. The reason I offered was more selfish than just over-mothering. I knew the leaves in the western part of the state would be beautiful with their surrounding hills and lakes. Maine is having the most spectacular leaf peeping season this year. This was my excursion. An hour drive, actually 2 hours. Quick overlook stops, small Maine towns to pass through, and a farmer's market visit. Lost in my thoughts, reflecting on what has been and what will be, along with a little presence of what is right now in this moment. The next day was a family tradition day, although the kids are getting older now. I know they did it for me, and I accept. We picked apples, ate apple cider donuts, and bought pumpkins. And with that, the seasonal shift has officially occurred. Apple pie, apple crisp, apple cider, sweaters, and sweatshirts. And although we can still be active, my reflecting has led to the new journals being pulled out for my wistful thoughts, and my to-be-read pile that I accumulated over the summer has been taken out for prioritizing. This is the time of year that we can all learn lessons from the trees. For me, personally, it is trusting the cycle. It is letting go, not just of what no longer serves me, but letting go of the edge, letting go of fears. It is giving more time to stillness and allowing things to grow in that stillness. It is to use this time to prepare for spring, to create what may emerge from that stillness over the winter months. So now we can ask ourselves, what will we do behind closed doors this winter that we can unveil the spring to the world? And that's kind of exciting, don't you think? Of course, I still hear the whispers from the winds. I just bundle up a bit to go listen. And often those whispers come through the trees as well. So appropriate. So let me answer the 3 questions from the wind from the Breaking Routine video. The first question is, what inspired me from this adventure? I'm going to say nature on this one. And I don't probably really need to say any more than that. Of course, there's its beauty, especially this time of year, but also I would say nature for what it can teach us when we're willing to still. The second question is how I grew. For this one, I'm going to say in letting go, like the leaves that we talked about. I'm letting go of some things, and there can be great beauty in letting go. Sometimes it's hard, but sometimes there's great beauty in it on the other side. And the last question is, what am I grateful for? And I'm going to say time for this one. As our kids get older, time with them is different, and time by ourselves is different as well. I appreciate both of them and am really thankful or grateful that I was able to do both of them over the weekend. I'm happy to be back doing some adventure type and book videos since releasing my Reading Together for 30 Days playlist that just came out. So thank you so much for your patience. The van here will be going into hibernation as well for the winter, but that does not mean that we can't find adventures elsewhere. So as always, thank you so much for joining me for this video, whether you watch it now or sometime in the future. And as always, be well and keep stepping forward.
In circles, but I'm still on the ground.